morning, everybody. So today is day 3 here in Disney, but day 2 at the parks. And today we are going to EPCOT for the Food and Wine Festival. I am so excited. EPCOT is one of my favorite parks. I think Magic Kingdom holds like the nostalgia, but EPCOT truly I think is like the most enjoyable part, and I'm just so excited to go. We absolutely always loved going to EPCOT when we were growing up. We just thought it was so cool to travel the World Showcase, and so we definitely want to do that today and enjoy the Food and Wine Festival, since last year that was a little bit more difficult being that we were there when it was storming. So this time I feel like we can actually like fully enjoy it in its entirety, and I'm just so excited. So before we leave, this is my outfit of the day. I did get my ears from Mouseketeers Boutique, and I'll have them linked down below for you guys. The top I got from Shein, which I can also have linked down below. My shorts are American Eagle, and then I have my TJ Maxx Adidas that I got. So we are gonna go ahead and head to the buses and start heading that way. So we are currently walking to the buses right now, and so our plans for today, we wanted to leave it pretty open so that way we could thoroughly enjoy the Food and Wine Festival. We don't have any reservations. However, I did get up to make our virtual queue line reservation for the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride. I was definitely trying to figure out what to do, and so I was able to get us into boarding group 7, so I'm super excited about that. And then the moment I booked that, it was like, oh, you could also do individual lightning lane for like $14 a person, and I was kind of like, why not? So I did that as well because I honestly didn't know that that was an option still. I didn't think that they had that offered yet. So now we're gonna hopefully get to ride it twice, which would actually be really great. I wasn't expecting that. I was really just thinking that we were gonna have to bank on the virtual queue option. So we have that, and I do know that we also made a regular lightning lane reservation for Remy's Ratatouille adventure back like later in the evening around like 6 or so. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. We just made it to EPCOT, so we are currently headed over. Our group is ready to board. We are boarding group 7, so we are about to go ride that, and then right after that we're gonna be able to do our individual lightning lane. So we're gonna ride it back to back, which I'm so excited about. Riding the new Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind twice. We did our virtual queue first, and then we did our lightning lane, and it was so much better than I was expecting. The fact that it felt like a mix of Rocket Roller Coaster, Space Mountain, and Rise of the Resistance, it was just so well done, and I had so much fun riding it. For the songs on the mixtape, the first time we rode we had One Way or Another, and then the second time we had Burn Baby Burn, and it was just so much fun. I can't wait to ride it again, hopefully on Monday, and that was just such an amazing experience, and I just think that's probably one of my new favorite rides. So now we are headed over to Soarin' because it currently only has a 20-minute wait, so we want to do that, and then we're gonna stop into the Nemo Pavilion and do some of the aquarium stuff, which I absolutely love. I love aquariums, so I'm really excited about that. finally the best part of the day. We are headed over to World Showcase, so we are going to be heading to Canada first, which is really fun because I feel like we've always started in Mexico whenever we've started going around the World Showcase. So I think Canada's gonna be a lot of fun. Plus we heard recommendations that we really need to try their cider wines, so I'm really looking forward to that. We made it to the Appleseed Orchard to get some drinks, and I decided to get the beer flight and then also the Apple Blossom Sky. One of the girls was walking by and she had the Apple Blossom Sky and it looked so good. Plus I'm always down to try a beer flight. So to tell you a little about it, the Apple Blossom Sky is apple cider, ginger ale, apple brandy, maple syrup, and mini marshmallows. And then their beer flight consists of Big Storm Brewing Company Apple Blonde Ale from Clearwater, Florida, a caramel apple pie ale from Florida, and Three Daughters Brewing Apple Pecan Brown Ale from St. Petersburg, Florida. So I'm super excited to try them. So to start off, we have the Apple Blossom Sky. That is so good. Oh my gosh. This is like the perfect fall dessert drink. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely delicious. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if y'all have had it, it's the moonshine beer. And they have apple cider or like apple pie cider during the fall season, and this tastes like the better version of that. Probably less alcoholic, but basically the better version, like what that could be. So now moving on to the beer flight. Starting off, we have the Big Storm Brewing Company Apple Blonde Ale, and this is what it looks like. So here we go. That's really refreshing. Honestly, I would consider buying a bottle of this just because it's so fresh and just absolutely delicious. Like, I really like this one. This reminds me of one that like you could get at one of the vineyards in Fredericksburg that we have in Texas. I really enjoy this one. This is definitely a favorite. Next, we have the Caramel Apple Pie Ale. So let's see about this one. That one's really good. I really like that one. I think the caramel apple gives it a little bit of like a darker flavor, but it's still really nice and really smooth, and it's really enjoyable for sure. I wish I knew the alcohol volumes of these because I'm definitely curious. I'm like, what am I really getting here? And last but not least, we have the Three Daughters Brewing Apple Pecan Brown Ale. So let's see about this one. It's a lot sweeter than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting it to be like a little bitter, but it's really nice. That is such a surprise. I was not expecting it to be that sweet. I was expecting this to be like the most bitter out of all of them. I'm torn between if this is my first or second favorite. I feel like I could drink the Apple Blonde more frequently. However, this one just has such a unique and delicious fall flavor that like during the fall season I would just be craving, and so that's really hard. And I really like the caramel apple one. I would just say that like if I had to buy one, it'd probably be one of the other two. But that's really nice, and it's so refreshing. I'm really happy I got both of these options because they are so delicious, and honestly I think we're gonna try and come back on like Monday or something, and if so, I definitely will make a stop here to get a drink because these are so good. I do know that we're getting hungry though, so we do need to get some food into our system. So I'm gonna finish these drinks and then we're gonna start walking to the next country. So we just stopped at the refreshment port, and it's called Boursin or Bourgine, something like that. And we got the braised poutine, which is highly recommended. So I'm really excited to try this. It has the Bourgine cheese on it that is like really recommended and people really like it. So I haven't ever had poutine before. I've always wanted to try it. I've always heard that people really like it at Epcot Food and Wine, so I'm really excited to see how it is. Oh, I've had a lot. It has really great flavor. I really like the beef a lot, and I think the cheese is really salty, which is nice. I feel like I rate things comparatively. so I feel like I would rate this based off of like what I've already eaten, and since this is the first thing I've eaten, I don't think that's a fair comparison. However, just eating this, I would probably give this a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. I don't exactly know what my requirements would be to give it that score, but I definitely really enjoy it, and I feel like if you are looking for something fun to eat, I definitely think that this would be worth a try. So we just made it over to Ireland and we decided to get the seafood pie. So I'm really interested about this. It just definitely seemed like it had good reviews online, and I'm a seafood gal, so I'm really excited to see how it tastes. It kind of reminds me of like a really yummy, somewhat spicy seafood soup with a delicious like crust on top. I'm really surprised by like the spice in this, but it's super tasty and I think it complements the seafood flavors really, really well. So if I had to rate this, I would probably give this like a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. Once again, I don't have a scale necessarily, it's all just in comparison, but I really like the spice in this. I don't know, I just feel like the spice gives it a really nice aspect. It's just really, really tasty. There's also a variety of textures going on in this, and I feel like they really complement each other nicely. But yeah, if you're considering anything from Ireland, I definitely recommend this. I'm happy with it. I think it tastes really good, but of course if you're a seafood fan, but I'm really happy with it. So we are now in France, and to drink, I decided to get the Strawberry Rose Mimosa, which is Remy sparkling wine, orange juice, and Monin strawberry rosé. And then we also got the beignet à trois fromage. And then my mom got the Merlot and Cabernet blend. So we're gonna try that, let you guys know what we think. I think it is so pretty over here, and it's really nice because I think they did a really great job capturing France in Epcot. I just think it is so well done and so beautiful and just a great atmosphere. Plus, really excited for Remy's Ratatouille adventure, which is later on this evening. But for now, I want to tell y'all what I think about what we got. Cheers. That's really nice. I had asked the cast member which she preferred between the Strawberry Rose Mimosa and the Passion Martini Slush, and she said a lot of people really liked the Rose Mimosa, and I think it is really tasty. It's really light but nice and fragrant. But it feels really nice, especially just like with the weather right now. So I'm really happy with this. I definitely enjoy it. I asked my mom what she thought about the Cabernet Merlot blend, and she just said, I'm gonna see what it tastes like. If this makes sense, it's kind of, it's not bad, but it's just like, it's drinkable. It's definitely drinkable. However, I feel like you might be able to find a better wine elsewhere, or this is kind of what I recommend. When it comes to drinking and eating around the world, sometimes you do get more bang for your buck getting a drink at a restaurant, just because typically you do get more. You know, when it comes to wine, this is kind of the portion that they give you, and you will get more at a restaurant for less money, so just kind of something to consider. But if you do want to try something new, then I definitely would still recommend getting wine. I'm interested to see what other drinks that they have as we continue on, but this definitely, I personally wouldn't maybe recommend it to you guys. However, some of y'all, it totally might be your favorite, so it's just up to you. Now for the beignet. It smells really good. I've never had a beignet before, so this is coming from a very uneducated place. The outside definitely tastes like an sweetened donut, which isn't bad. It's a little sweeter than I was expecting. I was expecting it to taste a little saltier with all the cheeses. I'm trying to decide what I would rate this because it's not necessarily my favorite, but that doesn't mean it's objectively not good. I probably right now would rate it like a 4 out of 10. It's my least favorite thing that I've gotten so far. However, it's not objectively bad by any means. It's just maybe not necessarily my personal favorite dish. I'm actually in Japan at the moment just because when I got the food from the Morocco area, they just started live music and I wanted to be able to have you guys hear what I'm saying. So we moved over here real fast, but I wanted to show y'all what I got. So it's actually from 2 different places. I got the drink from Brazil, and this is the Caprichiana. They didn't know how to say it. I asked them because I wanted to be able to say it right, but it's kind of like a margarita in a way, and what happened was it looked really good and it was sounding good, and I saw some girls drinking and I asked if they recommended it, and they said it tastes like sour apple and they would have gotten 2 if they could have. So I decided to get that, and then I went over to Greece and I got their griddled cheese. So the griddled cheese is basically topped with pistachios and honey, so we're gonna taste that, see how it goes. I thought that they would pair nicely together. So I actually already tried this drink just because it was frozen when I got it and I knew it was gonna be melting pretty quickly, and I still had to make my way over to Greece, but it really does taste like a sour apple and it is so good. This is definitely one of my favorite drinks I've had so far. I think it is super tasty, and I think definitely really worth it if you want to drink around the world. This is definitely one to get. So now we're gonna try the griddled cheese. So I'm gonna see what this tastes like. They did recommend to get pistachios in the bite to help with the texture. So let's see about this. That is really good. Like, I feel like if you're looking to have the coolest and best charcuterie board, you would have this on your board. If I had to rate this, I would probably give it anywhere between a 7.5 and an 8. So maybe let's go 7.7, which I know is particular, but I definitely like this the best so far, and I think it's really yummy. I wouldn't maybe go as far as to give it an 8, but I think it is so tasty and just really great. I definitely like this better than the seafood pie that we got in Ireland, and I just think it's super tasty, and like you can't go wrong with it. I was so surprised by it. I got it because it was one of like the recommended items out of all of the items that are listed. Like, it's the one that EPCOT recommends, and I'm definitely not disappointed. I think it's really, really good. Next stop was Japan, and I have never been able to try a proper bao bun before, so I really wanted to be able to do that. And so they had a teriyaki chicken bun, which they describe as a steamed bun filled with chicken, vegetables, and teriyaki sauce. So I got one of those, and it looks so good. And then I also got their Hanafuji apple sake, and so there were some girls that were drinking this, so I just went up and asked if they recommended it, and they said that it was so good to get as many as I should, which I was really happy about. I love asking girls for their opinions because they're just so honest, so it made me really happy. So I'm really excited to try this. I was carrying it and I could already smell the apple. It's very strong, so I'm definitely really excited to try it. So let's take a sip of that first. I feel like that's a dangerous drink because I feel like you could get drunk off of this really quickly, to be honest. You don't really taste the alcohol, but with what I know of sake, sake is very strong, but it tastes so good. It reminds me a lot of the apple blossom drink that I got all the way over in Canada, but in a more kind of refined version. This kind of tastes like that, which is super tasty. It's nice and sweet, but it's really refreshing at the same time. I definitely really recommend this. Oh my goodness. I'm really happy. All of the drinks I've had so far, I've really enjoyed, so that definitely feels really nice. So now for trying the bun, let's see how it is. So I will say the inside is actually surprisingly a little bit sweet, and the bun itself, I'm gonna say, is a little bit dry. So in my mind, like, the first number I thought of when thinking about rating this was a 5, but I feel like it could definitely be, like, not that it needs to be this precise, but maybe like a 5.2. It tastes really good. I can't really describe why I want to give it that number. It's just kind of like an intuition thing. This, however, we just got to the American Adventure, and we have been hearing good things about the Chesapeake crab cider, so we did decide to get that, and that is noted to be the Chesapeake crab cider with tangy closal and Cajun remoulade. Sounded really good, and I heard really great things about it, so that's one I'm really excited for. And then I got the Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company Kentucky Pumpkin Barrel Ale, and I think this is one that I really like. I know I've tried recently a pumpkin ale that I absolutely love. It is so delicious, and so I think that this might be it, so I'm gonna try it and let you guys know if it is or not. This is it. This is one of my new favorite beers at the moment. We got it from Specs recently and it is so delicious. I do know that it is 10%, so I got a 6-ounce and it is so delicious. I absolutely love it. So if you guys are looking for a really fun, tasty beer that doesn't taste like too strong or too dark, I definitely recommend this one. And then my mom got the Tribute Cabernet Sauvignon. What do you think of it?
It's delicious.
She said it's delicious, so I think that's a really good sign. This is really good too though. This is absolutely delicious. I think so far that's definitely the best wine. So far, if you need a really good wine here during the Food and Wine Festival, I can say that Tribute Cab from Hops and Barley is so far the best bet. But once again, we haven't been trying everything, but that's definitely a really good option. Okay, here we go. So I don't know how to describe it, to be honest. It is super yummy, but at the same time, I feel like it could be so much better. They did a tangy coleslaw, and personally, I think if they did maybe more of like a Cajun spicy coleslaw, that might have accented it better. Like if they had like some sriracha in there, not necessarily like super spicy. I just think it might have complemented the dish a little bit better. At the moment, I think I would probably rate it a 6. It's not bad, and it's definitely tasty, and I think for some people it would be their absolute like favorite dish. But for me personally, I would say that I just see how it could be a lot better, or I see how I could do it better. Like for example, back in Texas, we have at HEB these Fiesta Salmon sliders, and those are really, really good. And so I think instinctively I'm kind of comparing it to that, and like you could get like 2 whole patties of that for $7, or you could get this small thing. And so comparatively, I think it's really good, but I do think it could just be a little better. To Italy, and we decided to get the gnocchi with vodka sauce, and then I asked the cast member what they recommended when it came to drinks, and she recommended the Italian margarita, which is made with tequila and limoncello, and I like limoncello, so I was all for it, and I am really excited to try these. And then my mom didn't see anything she liked, so she actually went to like the little wine stand that was next door, and she got a Chianti to try. So the gnocchi with vodka sauce that we got is, gnocchi is potato dumplings with vodka sauce, Romano cheese, and then it has crispy bacon on top. And then the other gnocchi that they have is similar, but it has a 4 cheese sauce instead, but this one definitely sounded a lot better, so let's see how it tastes.
It's so good.
That is so good. So far the best thing. I would honestly give that like an 8.5 or a 9. That is so good. Like that is really amazing quality pasta. I don't think that you can go wrong getting this. This is so good. I feel like if you want some good quality Italian food, this is the thing to get for sure. So my mom wants me to try her wine, so let's see how it is. That's really good. That's really good. I really like that. And now for the limoncello margarita. Just tastes like a slightly sweeter margarita. It's really nice. I really like it. Currently over by Kenya because we heard a lot of recommendations to go to the refreshment outpost, so we decided to go there, and the #1 thing that people were recommending was the spicy githeri, which is white beans, pigeon peas, Ben's original quinoa, and ancient greens medley in kachumbari slaw. And then to drink, I decided to get the Copper Point Brewing Company Key Lime Kolsch, and I had a sip of this and it is really nice. It's really smooth. I can already tell you I will not finish this whole thing just because there's other drinks I want to try, and this is a very generous serving for sure. You definitely get a lot of the lime rind at the very end, but overall the flavor is really nice, and I definitely would drink it again. I will say something that they need to start doing. In Texas, we dress our beers for the most part, which is where you dip it in either like a lemon juice or water, and then you have the cup coated in like some beer salt. And that's not a thing in Florida apparently, and I think that is so good, and I think that would taste really good with this beer specifically. The spice is amazing. I really like the spice to it. However, when it comes to like the textures and some of the flavors, like with the quinoa, I really like the corn in it. I'm I'm trying to figure out exactly where I stand with it because it's kind of like a quinoa curry, which I like. So in a way, I would almost give this a 6 because it's really good. However, I don't know exactly how I'd feel about getting it again compared to maybe trying something else. So that's probably why I give it a 6, is because it's good and I'm definitely going to enjoy it, but it's not necessarily good enough to purchase again, especially in comparison to maybe some of the other things I've tried. I would definitely make a comment saying that both the beer and the gatheri are probably the biggest portions of food that we have gotten so far out of everything. So you definitely get your money's worth. It just depends if that is something that you're craving or not. But something to be appreciated is that they definitely give you your money's worth. And I decided to get the pan-fried chicken dumplings, and also they recommended the fireworks. Okay, here we go. That's so strong. That? Like, I need to stir it up. Thoroughly mixed, here we go. It's a lot better. Literally, I just got the alcohol in the first sip, so makes a lot of sense. After stirring it, much better. I think that's just the key. It's like, just stir your drink, properly infuse it. It is literally, I can't even explain, so much better once you stir it. I think was just getting vodka and Jose Cuervo at the top. It's a good drink. Like, I would get this again. I wouldn't at first, now I would. So, okay, so now I'm gonna be trying their dumpling. I like the dumplings a lot. I think that they're really tasty. My gut is wanting me to just like say 7. Like, I feel like they're a good 7. They're really good. I feel like they actually could have cooked them slightly longer to get like a little bit more of a sear on them. But overall, they're definitely really good dumplings, and I think that they're really tasty. The sauce is super yummy. It has a nice kick to it, which I really like. So we're finishing up in China right now, and we're actually gonna head over to Norway because we got in a lightning lane for the Frozen Ever After ride, but it was temporarily down for hours, and so we didn't know if we were gonna make it, and all of a sudden it's back up again. Our lightning lane is about to end, so we're gonna go over and ride it, and so I'm super excited, and then we will resume eating all of the good eats. Just to check in with y'all, we just finished Frozen Ever After, and now we are actually kind of on time for our Remy's Ratatouille Adventure Fast Pass. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is take the boat over there, ride that ride, and then take the boat back to go ahead and finish off our food and wine adventure. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm so excited. I love taking the boat. It's just so amazing. It's so relaxing. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're gonna go do that right now, and I will see y'all over in Paris. we just finished Remy's Ratatouille adventure, and now we're gonna head back on the ferry to head over to Canada again. And from there, we're actually going to find our spot for the fireworks. My mom is gonna save our spot, and then I'm actually gonna go get the last of our eat and drink around the world items, bring them back, and we're just gonna sit and chill until the fireworks and eat those good eats. So I'm super excited. I absolutely love Remy's Ratatouille adventure. I think it's so much fun, and honestly, I'm excited to keep eating a little bit more, but then just kind of relaxing for the fireworks. So I will see you with all of the good food. So we finally found our spot for Harmonious and we went ahead and saved it, and then I ran and got us some food from Coastal Eats. So I want to share with you what I got. So we did get the Oysters Rockefeller, and this is the second time I will ever have had Oysters Rockefeller. The first time literally was less than a month ago, and it was so good. It was that Smash and Crab. I don't know how many of y'all might have that, but it was absolutely delicious. So I'm interested to compare this to that. And then I decided to get the Cape Codder, which is the Boyd and Blair vodka with cranberry, pomegranate, and lime. So let's go ahead and give that a try first. That is really refreshing. In a weird way, it kind of reminds me of like the blue raspberry Kool-Aid that you used to have like growing up, which is so bizarre, but it tastes really good. I definitely really like it. I think it has a nice balance of like bitter and sweet that carries really well throughout the drink. And plus like the cup they gave you was like a little different, which is nice. They could definitely give you a lot, so I really like it. So now we have the oysters. I think that this and the gnocchi so far are the best items that I have gotten throughout EPCOT. They are so flavorful, so amazing, both reasonable portions and also like so different. So you really can get either one, and they're on complete opposite sides of the park as well, which I think is great, so you can kind of break it up a little bit. If you haven't had oysters before, to me, the way they make Oysters Rockefeller, it just tastes like garlic bread. Just in case some of you might be skeptical about oysters and stuff like that, for me, that's what it tastes like, and that's what it's reminiscent of. But it was absolutely delicious. I seriously am like so impressed by that. So now that that is done, it is time for me to get our final place for the night, which is the Noodle Exchange, where I'm gonna get some pho. So I'm gonna go grab that and bring that right back over here. Hello, I have returned and the sun has gone down. So I went to the Noodle Exchange and I want to tell y'all what I got. I got the traditional spicy Vietnamese beef pho with shaved beef, mushrooms, and Thai basil. And then to drink, I'm trying the green tea pale ale. I'm really excited to try that. Of course, let's try the drink first. That is really good. That's a really nice light beer. This almost kind of reminds me of one of the ones that we got back last year when we were in Hollywood Studios. It's really tasty. I definitely really like that. I'm curious to see how it pairs with the pho. So I have never had pho before, so this is actually really exciting. I've heard amazing things about it. I've had ramen and I love ramen, but I've never had pho, so this is really, really fun. It has an interesting flavor to it. I don't know how to describe it exactly. It has like a really earthy spice flavor to it. I wouldn't know exactly how to pinpoint that, but it tastes really good. I feel like I would give this like a 6.5. That feels really appropriate. Like, this is super tasty. I really like the spice. The flavor to it is really nice, and it just like feels really comforting and cozy. I think it pairs really well with the green tea beer as well. Plot twist, I'm doing something naughty. Somebody come stop me. So it all comes full circle because I went back to the Appleseed Orchard and got the exact same thing I got this morning in order to watch the fireworks. So I got the Apple Blossom Sky and the Beer Flight again for the fireworks. The fireworks don't start for another 30 minutes or so, but I got these to enjoy it because I can honestly say these have been my favorite drinks of the whole night, and it just sounded like a nice way to end the evening. So I'm going to enjoy these, and I will see y'all with the fireworks. just got our food and I wanted to do a little taste test for you guys. First, I want to start off with the flight. I feel like this is basically just an extension of the Food and Wine Festival, but I love that they have a sangria flight here, and I think that is just so much fun. So I wanted to go through each one. They recommend that you start from the top and work your way to the bottom. So the first one that we have is a Espumoso Sparkling Sangria, which is Freenet Blanc de Blancs, Brut Cava, Peach Liqueur, and Lemon. So let's go ahead and give that a quick sip. That is really nice. That is really bright and refreshing and sparkling, and I really like that. That's definitely something that I feel like you could have in the morning and that would just wake you up. Like, that is really nice. So the next one we have is the Rosado Rosé Sangria, and this is Garnacha Rosé Wine, Puerto de Indias, Strawberry Gin, Apricot Brandy, and Raspberry and Apple. That is sweet. That is so good. I would get a bottle of that. Oh my gosh. I feel like that is something that they would have served at Food and Wine Festival. Like, that is so unique and so delicious. I really like that one. Number 3 is the Blanco White Sangria, which is Macabeo wine, Torres, Magdalena, Saint Germain, elderflower, passion fruit, and lemon. Ooh, I'm suddenly realizing I think I got the names wrong. I was reading them off the list that they gave me, but I think they're set in a different way. So I actually think that this is the rosé, which makes sense, and the one I just had was the white. That makes a lot of sense now, but I'm just realizing. So this rosé one is absolutely delicious and super tasty. So those are the only two that they had switched on their like little chart that they have on the menu. So the last one is the Tinto Red Sangria, which is Garnacha wine, Torres, Magdala, Narnia, del Mediterráneo, and orange. That is really nice. That's definitely more of like a traditional sangria. All of them are so delicious, but I'm not gonna lie, I think the first two are my favorite, which is the sparkling sangria and the white sangria. Both of those are so yummy. And so now we get to try the appetizer. Starting off easy, we got the guacamole. I know this is so silly, but coming from Texas, it's really nice when people know how to season guacamole, because I feel like, yes, there is beauty and simplicity, but I also really love when people season it, and they season their guacamole and it is delicious. And now we have the warm manchego and oxana cheese dip, and this has chorizo, roasted red peppers, and tortilla chips. So I can honestly say that really hits the spot. That is so good. Oh my goodness. All of this is so delicious. I am so happy with it. It's a beautiful view as well. Like, this is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm so happy with this experience, and like, it's just been such an amazing day. I love getting the opportunity to try new foods, and this has just been so much fun. So I'm gonna eat and enjoy this, and I will check back in with you guys when I get back to my room. Hello, so we just got back to the room, and honestly, I'm about to take my makeup off and go to bed because we have an early day at Hollywood Studios tomorrow, so I hope you guys will join me for that next vlog. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really had so much fun. It was absolutely amazing to be able to finally do the Food and Wine Festival at EPCOT and be able to thoroughly enjoy it. It was just absolutely amazing, and I really loved all of the food, and I learned so many different things that I really enjoyed, which was so fun, and I just had so much fun. And so thank you guys so much for coming along with me. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!